What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the basement. Today we're going to take a look at this player that I got damaged in shipping probably a little over a year ago by now. This is my Sears 934. This particular 934 model is the 547-80-150. I don't know why Sears felt the need to have a Dewey Decimal System for their products, but anyway, so this is the Sears mono player, but it had the ability to have stereo by buying a separate stereo adapter, which I do not possess, but they do exist, and also has the option of a corded remote, which I do possess. And it bums me out that this is the only player I have with a corded remote. It doesn't work. A little backstory. I got this video disc player off of another member on CED Magic, basically just for the cost of shipping, but unfortunately it arrived in pretty awful condition. At least the box did. The player actually looks like it got crushed sideways. I brought out this straight edge just to show you. You can see the gap around here. You can see the gap here and here, and how there's a bump. This whole thing got wanged right here, and then right here as well. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, not really, but the player obviously took some kind of damage, and unfortunately, when you put a disc in it, it just doesn't play. The arm won't move or anything. Now I will admit I have already looked into this player before. And I basically, because of no service information, I don't have manuals for these Sears players. I just kind of left it alone, and just kind of looking at it, and I really, decided I wanted to take a second look at it, because this is a really cool player, especially with the vintage wood grain. And it's also a little caveat, it's the only mono player I have that has RCA jacks on the back. Even though it's mono, it still gives you that capability, and I really like that, because I don't like using the traditional cable hookup. I don't know, it's slow. I have too many players to be switching around in use to have to screw and unscrew cable when I could just unplug RCA cables. Anyway, alright, rant over. So I'm going to fire the lid off of this and get the main board in the service position, and we'll have a looky-loo inside and see what we get. Okay. Now there's a screw here, and one on the opposite side, and there's also two in the back. Sorry, getting frame here. There's a screw there and a screw there. Personally, on all of my players, and I've said this in past videos and I still stand by it, I don't leave the screws attached on any of my lids in case I need to get into the player. If a disc gets stuck or what have you, I just, I don't want to leave it in distress any longer than it has to be. Excuse me. And as I said, I've already been in this player, so there's a Phillips screw that goes here, just off camera, just barely. And then there's another screw over here, just off camera. Oh, it's just in frame. And then that allows you to lift up the board. And you're going to have to pull the remote jack out as well, which is kind of a pain in the butt. You kind of have to force it out, but it comes out. There it is. And then you just kind of swing it up, and it kind of just hangs like right there. Like there's actually a notch in each side. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here. And it just kind of allows the board to stay up. Now unfortunately I can't show you the digital display at the same time, but there is another counter right here that's going to light up, and you're going to see that it's not going to go anywhere. So let's get a disc in there at least and get the symptom on camera. Okay, I don't even have this plugged into the television right now. I don't really think that's necessary. But, oh. Take you off the tripod here. It's just showing double zeros. We actually bump this forward. Oops, sorry. Crappy camera work going on. Ooh, it's not liking something. Oh! Ooh. Something's not happy in there. Ooh. Okay, well, it appears to me that this at least needs some lube. So let's get this disc out of here and see if I can't get this a little further. Figure we'll give the remote a try here. So hit return. Ooh, didn't like that. Okay, so it appears to me that because this thing got dropped on its side, perhaps the sorry, I gotta pay attention here. Perhaps the rod, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. This rod right here might need a little bit of lube, and maybe the belt's not the greatest on there. I'm probably sure I could dig up another belt somewhere. This might actually be an easy fix. I thought something happened to it, like it got dropped and circuit board cracked somewhere. I thought I was going to have to like start looking for hairline cracks and whatnot, and wasn't going to subject you guys to that. I just thought maybe I'd take you along for my little adventure here. So let me dig a little bit deeper into this, and let's see where we end up. Alright, so what I've done is I put the disc back in, and I just unplugged the player with the stylus arm advanced this way so I could get to the gear train inside of here. I'm going to shoot that with a little bit of oil first and see where that takes us, because it's obvious that that gear set is clashing or chattering, whatever fancy word you want to use for it, but it no sound no good with the noise that it make. So, oh look, you can see the little stylus sweeper pad there. It's got little fuzzies on it. Anyway, distraction. Alright, so let me go find whatever oil I happen to have laying around. It's surely not probably what's approved by RCA, but it's what I use, so. Alright, so we found ourselves a little oil. It's not exactly the most conventional oil that I would recommend to use, or recommend at all, to be quite honest, but it's what I have and it's what I use, and I won't recommend it, but I do use Brake Free, which is a gun oil, although I don't think you can say that on YouTube these days, but whatever. So let me zoom in on the gear set here, and then promptly put my hand in the way. Okay, I'm going to squirt a bunch in there, and then I'm going to turn the player back on and get it moving. Oh yeah. That was a pretty good dose. Let's see what that does. I'll quiet down a little bit. Okay. I guess I'll leave you zoomed in there. I'm just hitting play. You see it's still struggling though. I bet you it's just the belt at this point. It's showing double zeros right now. See, it's turning backwards. Is that just me? Did I not see that? Oof, I was too busy looking at the counter. I missed it. It's flickering 1 0. Oh, it's at zeros. There we go. Now it's just, oh, it doesn't want to hit 1 minute. What happened? Is the motor just too weak? It's staying at 1 now. Although I don't have this plugged into the television. I probably should. Let me. Oh jeez, I should have plugged it in. All right. What am I gonna do? Yeah, I can't plug it in without moving the player. All right, we'll start over again. Let me hit return. See what happens at least. Yeah, nothing happens. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lube the bar that the stylus arm, I guess we'll call it, rides across. I'm going to plug the player in, I'm going to turn the television on, and then we'll see if we can't get a little visual aid here. Okay, well, okay, zoom you out here. While I was waiting, the player just kind of put it back itself into a play position, and I just want you to see that, oops, sorry, there is in fact a little video going on right now. See how that's kind of jittering? 1-3. I don't really know what all that's about, and there doesn't appear to be any sound. Let's see if we can't get the old fast forward here. Sorry, this is awful, awful camera work. That's fast. This is super fast, which doesn't seem to be skipping that much. Here's a visual search. I wonder why no volume. Oh, there is volume.
Clearly, Russia thrown down the gauntlet. They had given us a challenge. Was the United States able to compete technologically with the Russians? President Kennedy, one of the greatest competitors our country has known, he was in second. I sometimes have said if the moon isn't there, that's wrong. Because we needed a goal, you need an objective, you need something you can focus on. And that's what the moon allowed us to do.
The shapes for a new age began to emerge. The newly formed National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, called its labors Project Mercury, and by 1958, 7 heroes had been found to match the hardware.
I am really surprised right now
Introduced to America.
that this works. Because this thing was pretty much dead on arrival.
Of 175 million, they stepped forward last week. 7 men cut of the same stone as
Still
Columbus,
glitchy.
Magellan, Daniel Boone, and the Wright brothers. NASA did not discourage this adulation. In fact, the originals were actively parade.
That could just be because it's folded up and maybe it's got a pinched wire somewhere.
While this image gained widespread support for Project Mercury, it was a bit simplistic. Actually, there were 7.
That's pause. Let's play.
Widely diverse individuals.
That was quite the delay.
Common background as professional pilots.
Let's try and reverse
Ambitious,
search.
aggressive, competitive men. Step
Yeah, that
into
works.
the heavens.
I think certainly all.
Let's rewind.
There were 7 widely diverse individuals, all eager to take.
I think all of us are
When I hit
going
fast
all
search,
of
it
us
said
went up
14.
in the finals like I did. Really sort of looked at it as an extension. As a test pilot, you're so better and better and faster and farther and higher.
Well, there you have it, folks.
In other words, you're expanding, as we call it, the boundary of the
So I guess I needed a little lube and maybe to sit on the healing cabinet for a year.
Looked at it that way. It's not a brave frontier.
Obviously, I wouldn't consider this fixed,
We have been pushing it out. And I think all of us looked at it as a natural extension of
but it is
what we've been
watchable.
doing, flying straight planes and that sort of thing.
Most of the original 7 had learned to face danger directly as fighter pilots during the Korean conflict. They called themselves fighter jocks, roaring aloft in efforts.
Yeah, this is supposed to be in black and white too, I'm pretty sure. But I guess I should have got a color disc to test this with. I apologize for that. Alright.
After the war, the Fujaks took their skill and daring.
Yeah, as you can see, it also doesn't want to return. I think that's just the belt slipping. Sorry, it wasn't even focused. So, I guess I'll put you back on the tripod here since I've probably shaken you to death enough. I guess I'm going to try to find a belt for this now. And I guess I'll just watch a movie on the player and see what happens. Also, just one note I'd like to make. I'd like to send a big shout out to my buddy Keith Gamble, because he's the reason why I even have this really sweet remote, and it even came with the original box. So sometimes it helps to have friends in other places, because they find stuff where you can't find stuff. Thanks, buddy. Alright, I just wanted to show what a new belt would do. This isn't the right belt for it, but it was close enough. It's probably just a hair too tight, if anything. I lubed up a couple other points. There's just a couple more gears down here. I just put a little oil right here and put a little oil in these gears right here, and then on the back side of the player you can get to the bar that the arm travels across better, mobed. So I checked it with another disc, and it does still play in black and white. That's another story for another day. I thought this player was just completely dead. So let's just pop a disc in it and just see if it reacts better with the new belt, just to prove that sometimes a belt slipping a bit. I don't have to help it. You gonna make a liar out of me? Please don't do that. Ah, nice. Take you off the tripod again. See, I marked the pulleys with a dot. It's just on the intro screen. But let's see if I can. That was fast search, and this is scan forward.
And so, man turned his toward the stars.
Now it is time
Just giving it a
to
fast skip
American
here.
enterprise. I believe that this nation should be itself. to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing him on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
The numbers are still
No single
glitching.
space project period will be more
I thought maybe
impressive
that
to
was the belt.
mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space. The great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said because it is there. Well, space is there, and we're going to climb it.
Alright, well, that's about all I can do with this player for now, so thanks for joining me for the ride.
And greatest adventure on which man.
And why not? For a little bonus, I figured might as well get to see what the player looks like back together and semi-working, I guess. It's a lot easier to load. Getting worried the digital display didn't come on.
Man turned his attention toward the stars.
Now it is time to take longer strides. It should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period
Okay, that's really it this time. Now get lost.